Hey there, welcome to Garden Sound 365. My name is Garden Sound. This is the show where we write music every day for a year. Hope everybody's doing well. So last night I had the opportunity to play on WREK, that is 91.1, and it was awesome. And I have an entire live set that I've actually recorded in high quality that I'm going to be putting up as today's music. So I've done my live sets before, but they've been recorded through the camera's microphone, but tonight I actually have a recording of the actual sound from Ableton before it gets to the board and everything, so it's very high quality. So that's today's music. I wanted to talk today about the importance of being an independent artist, and why I don't sign my tracks out to labels anymore. So I've signed some tracks of mine to a label before, full disclosure. That label is called Vivid Kind, and they are a fantastic label, and they're a little bit less of the traditional record label model and a little bit more of the newer record label model called a collective or a musical collective. The idea there is that one person makes it, pulls the rest of the artists along, but more or less the creative decisions, right, or the creative input is left up to the artist's discretion. And that is the crux of the argument. Why is being an independent artist so important? Why do I think it's so valuable? That's the answer. Retaining creative freedom. When you release a song on a label, a larger label, like let's say for instance Geffen Records or Armada, or let's say for instance an even more restrictive label like EMI or Sony Music, they've got a specific type of music that they release. And depending on who signed you, depending on which manager signed your particular style, they saw a particular sound in one of your songs, and they're going to pretty much hold you to that. They want you to continue to release that type of music. They want you to continue to release that narrow thing they heard where they were like, we want to sell that. Because at their core, that's what they're designed to do. They're designed to sell music and lease music to the highest bidder. Think of it like an auction house. Radios pay for specific tunes, musicals, shows, movies. They pay for specific tunes, and that's what they want to sell. They're not interested in the art. Now, in my opinion, that is what has brought us to today's music. When people say things like, oh, what happened to music? That's the answer. That's what happened. Sales got involved. It was no longer about music for the sake of music, no longer about art and creativity for the sake of art and creativity, but about selling records, about moving units, about getting that money, those Benjamins. You know what I'm saying? Art doesn't necessarily buy yachts. And that's what the labels are concerned with, their yachts. So, that's why being an independent artist is so important to me. And that's why Chance the Rapper, let's talk about him for a second, his push this year and going forward about remaining an independent artist is huge, monumental even. It's the biggest shift in attention that we've had toward independent music since Pearl Jam, who was one of the first independent artists to become mainstream and say, look, we're not going to sign this to a label, we're keeping the profits, etc., etc. It's beautiful. And it's music for the sake of music and art for the sake of art. That's why it's so important. That's why it's such a big deal. And that's why the labels and the Academy are going to go after Chance. They don't want that to happen because it doesn't protect their yacht interests. It doesn't protect their concern with money. So as soon as someone steps out and becomes independent and starts to actually take some of their attention, take some of their market share, they'll go after him. You're going to see slam pieces. You're going to see Rolling Stone decry Chance the Rapper as breaking down the institution of music. It hasn't happened yet, but you watch. It will happen. Mark my words. They are going after him. Just like the media has been going after PEWDIEPIE. So what do PEWDIEPIE and Chance the Rapper have in common? They're independent, they're powerful, and they've got a share of the traditional media market. And they are scared of that. The traditional media market does not want that to happen. So, here's what we can do. If you want to help, which you should want to, and you want to make music good again, you want to make music go back to its roots, go back to good art, good music, that classical music. Not classical music in the sense of Mozart, but that music that has that pull, that drive. You want that back? You need to support artists like Chance the Rapper. You need to support creators like PewDiePie. You need to support people like me, indie producers who are on the come up, who aren't going to sign to a major label. I will never ever sign to a major label. It's not going to happen. I will be popular and I will be successful on my own merits. That's it. I will always sign my tunes either to my own studio, Garden Sound Studios, or to a record collective like Vivid Kind. So, or Team Supreme. They're doing it well. When you take creativity away from music, you turn it into a product. And that's what we hear on the radio. So that's it for today. It's going to be a short video. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments section down below. This is our Sunday series, and we normally do, this is a conversation. I want to hear from you all. So do me a favor, hit that like button, go down to the comments section, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Tomorrow, I have a friend on the show. We're going to be talking to Drew Coates. I've talked about him before. In fact, the Initial D music that I wrote yesterday was inspired by his suggestion. So look out for that tomorrow. But, as always, my name is Garden Sound. If you'd like to hear the set from last night's radio, the live set that I recorded, click here. If you'd like to see yesterday's video where I created Initial D music, click here. Happy hardcore. If you'd like to subscribe to me, click here. And if you'd like to support me on Patreon, please click here. But I'll see you all tomorrow.